Kia ora, my name is Keo Pānoho. I am a partner at the digital marketing firm K&J Growth. I'm also a co-owner of an e-commerce brand, Rugby Bricks, where we sell online kicking tees and rugby-based programs. Through K&J, we've been able to work with big household brand names like TikTok, Microsoft, through to small businesses in rural central Otago. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to walk you through a series of strategies and steps of how you can implement digital marketing into your company and your business, how to understand whether or not you actually take this on board internally versus outsourcing this, some of the productivity tools that we use and that you can use to implement an ROI on whether or not your marketing strategy works, and finally actually give you some tools around how to actually use the exact things like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the actual strategies behind this in a step-by-step series. When it comes to digital marketing, I like to start by just giving a simple definition of marketing in itself. And so marketing in the aspects of how we use it is anything that gets or keeps customers in the business. And so what we're going to do today is, as we move through these next few parts, is actually go around of answering 3 questions that will allow you to form and create a marketing strategy for your company. And the digital marketing strategy is simply just going to be marketing, but using digital tools. Like all things in business, you need to consider an ROI or a return on investment. And so this is really important for implementing your digital strategy. So the first part you want to know is how much does it cost you to get your product? The second is how much time you're actually spending on creating or bringing that product to market. The second piece of this puzzle that we ask most businesses is how much you're selling the product for. And so an example is if you're paying $10 for a product, then you're selling it for $20. The gap in there is your margin. And the last part that you want to understand here is how much you're actually willing to pay to acquire a customer. So if you've got a gap of $10, are you willing to pay $3 or $5 to acquire a customer via marketing? The third and final piece that you actually want to have a look at and understand as you go through this process is who is actually your customer. So your customer is the person that you really want to be very, very granular about. And the big piece that we tell people here is that if everyone's your customer, no one is your customer. And this means because what you have to do is actually target your marketing to a narrow audience first and be sure those are the type of people that are actually going to buy your product. Because if you start wide, you're more likely to spend money on people who aren't willing to purchase your product. Now let's look at how we actually go and understand the 2 types of broad marketing and the digital tools associated with them. So the first is understanding intent-based marketing and the second is interest marketing. So intent-based marketing is essentially when a customer has a problem and they search for a solution online. An example might be trying to find a drone. And so if you're someone who is looking into filming and cameras, one of the things you might want to use is a drone, and you'll use something like Google to search for drones online. The first result is going to be served as an ad, typically from someone like a Harvey Norman or a JB Hi-Fi. And this is an example of intent in the fact that someone is searching and the customer is trying to find a solution. The second part is interest marketing and using a tool like Facebook. So a customer will be online and they'll be using tools like Facebook to be surfing the web. What will happen then is that Facebook has data about that person from all the things that they've done in their previous browsing history. And then what will happen is it'll serve an ad based on what that person's preferences are. The best digital marketing strategy will be a combination of using these 2 types of marketing, the digital tools, and then understanding how much you're willing to spend on each, the time you're willing to invest to whether you learn, or finally whether or not you outsource this to somebody else. Now that you've got an understanding of the 2 types of marketing, what you're going to look at doing is how you actually go through and create a marketing strategy that combines these tools, understanding the right digital tools and how to use these, and finally actually understanding the costs, the ROI, and the time of whether or not you're going to use this in the business and do it yourself versus outsourcing it to a professional.